Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we talk getting your veggies in a click, appetite-suppressing foods, and signs you may have a thyroid issue. Stay tuned for all that and more.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
All right, you guys, welcome to Fit Club. I don't even know how to jam to this song because I don't listen to much country. This is Shaka's pick. But what song is this?
Body Like a Back Road. It's a great song.
Oh, wait. Why does that sound familiar, the name?
Yeah,
I don't
Body
know
Like a
the
Back Road.
tune. Oh, I think I've heard this before. Okay. I don't listen to much country, but I think I have heard this song before. Hopefully you guys heard the song before and also have seen us before. If you're returning, thanks for watching. Those of you who are new, I'm Fallon Mercedes. I'm your host. You guys can find me online at fitwithfallon.com, here with my lovely co-host.
And my name is Shaka Smith. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
All right, we have, as every episode, great stories for you that are very informative about health and fitness. Our first topic that we're going to talk about are local veggies that are now being delivered. So I think Amazon and farmers markets are changing the game. And now it's kind of the both of them together. You can now get fresh local produce with just one click away. Tell us more.
Well, Amazon is buying Whole Foods, so that in terms of their food delivery service, I think that'll be upped, you know. But it looks like a lot of local farms are, and different companies like Fresh Harvest, which was founded I think in 2012, they're contracting with local farms to deliver fresh produce to the door, about $39 a week. But it's nice that you can get your produce within days rather than weeks, because we already know that produce that sits on the shelf, it loses like 50% of its nutrients just sitting there over weeks and weeks at a time. So now you're able to get fresh produce that's local. It'll change your cuisine a little bit, your diet a little bit, but you're getting the maximum benefit in terms of vitamins and nutrients.
This kind of reminds me of Blue Apron. I did that for a little while, and I'll be honest, the food was so fresh. I imagine if I got a whole box of vegetables and fruits. And what I like about this too is that they're taking out the middleman. So you can get a lot of this fresh produce at the wholesale price because you're getting it for a local farmer. And I also like that it's being delivered within like the next day. So once you order your food, literally, the farmer is packing it up and whatever company you go through is delivering it to you. Now, I think we are blessed that we live in California where we do have a lot of farmer markets available that we can go to in person. But, you know, I went home a couple weeks ago and I try to go food shopping for my parents because they didn't have much, you know, produce. And I'm like, listen, we can't eat like this, especially if I'm here. I need some vegetables and fruits. And I went to 2 supermarkets and I was so disappointed.
Oh, man.
Their fruits and vegetables, they looked like they were malnourished. Like, how are your fruits and vegetables malnourished?
And then you have to eat them and think that you're getting the nutrients, but you're not.
But you can even taste the difference. Like, the kale didn't taste the same. Everything felt like, you know, it wasn't. And I know in different areas you grow different things, but, you know, typical things you should be able to get anywhere in the country and get, you know,
fresh.
And it makes me think too, I wonder if they did statistics for people who live in areas where there are local farmers markets, or they have access to these type of services. You know, are they, you know, less vitamin deficient or less, you know, deficient in nutrients than those who don't have access to this?
Well, we do know that 75% of Americans aren't even hitting the daily recommended values for fruits and vegetables.
Which some of you might not know. So get your pen and paper.
2.5 cups of veggies per day and 1.5 cups of fruit. So a lot of people aren't hitting that mark to begin with. So no matter where you live, you're probably...
Did I have my fruit today? I didn't. I had my veggies and my salad, but I did not have my fruit.
Well, you got 1.5 cups to go.
I also enjoy this too because I feel like you can just stay in the convenience of your own home. There's no excuse like, oh, I have to go all the way to the supermarket.
Yeah.
No, it's just literally one click away. And it's kind of affordable.
Yeah.
One of the women that was interviewed in this article, she said she spends about $39
Yeah, and that's like the
for
mega box.
Yeah,
She's getting the mega thing.
The big box, and it lasts her a little over a week.
Yeah.
So that's definitely wholesale prices.
And it's forcing you to use the food. You know, a lot of times we get food and we let it spoil. So when you get it fresh every week, you know you're going to start to use it and eat more of it.
Exactly. So
I think it's very beneficial. It's kind of helping solve a little bit of the food desert problem. I know we talked about it a couple shows ago. So they're even trying to make a push to use those, what do you call it, like food stamp benefits, so you could buy some of this stuff online.
I think that would be so great. Yeah, I love that.
So people that don't have access and they can't go can at least get it delivered.
Yeah, and I like too that I think it's going to change the dynamics in families too. Yeah. You know, with children having access to fresh fruit. Yeah. I'll tell you, there's a big difference between a big grapefruit that is not ruby red and a grapefruit that is like fresh ruby red, like an old grapefruit and a new grapefruit. It's
or even knowing you have a full fresh box of veggies and fruit to choose from versus making that stop at McDonald's for some fries quickly for a snack for the kid, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, we got fruit at home.
Yeah, maybe you have fresh potatoes. I'll do something with that. So
you guys at home watching, is this something that you're already doing? Are you purchasing your fruits and vegetables online? If you are, let us know, I guess, what company you're going through. Yeah. And, or let us know if this is something that you wouldn't do for some reason.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to give a try.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a try.
What
company
fresh.
is this?
This was Fresh Harvest.
Fresh Harvest. Shout out from Fit Club. We want some fresh fruit. We'll talk about it and eat on our show.
Yeah, because I want to know if it's actually fresh. Because I do have some skepticism about getting my food delivered to my door. Yeah. So.
And I like it, too, that they even show you what's coming up.
Yeah, so you can swap out or, you know, detract or add.
Yeah, I love that. All right, let's talk about supplements.
Yeah, this was
interesting. Parents, you might want to start really locking up your supplements. So it's not just medication. Yeah. You know, everybody knows lock up your medication. You don't want your children or even animals, pets, you know, getting into the cupboards and, you know, having a chance at this, or even like detergents or household cleaners. But now you even have to be careful about your vitamins and dietary supplements.
Yeah, calls to poison centers were up 50% the last year about supplements and, you know, the dangers of the supplement in particular people. And it looked like 70% of people that had trouble with these supplements were 6 years old and under.
Younger. That's crazy.
And so, and essentially, I think parents forget supplements are drugs. They really, and so they leave them out around their kids. The kids go exploring. They see something that doesn't look quite so in a prescription bottle.
And especially now, too, that there's those gummy vitamins and the gummy melatonin.
Oh, there's gummy everything, like gummy pre-workout.
Yeah. I'll be honest, when I was younger, and I'm always giving crazy stories, but when I was younger, my mother would buy us the Grape Kids Tylenol. Yeah. Loved it. When she wasn't looking, I literally like ate half the bottle.
Oh gosh. Well,
I'm okay.
You made it out alive. Wow. Yeah.
But that's the scary part of these things.
Yeah, a lot of these supplements do taste good. I've had I've gotten caffeine chews, and I've gotten you know, all types of supplements in the form of really tasty, you know, things that would appeal to a child.
Yeah. And even some supplements affect me as an adult. Yeah. There's some things that I can't take because my heart will be palpitating.
Same thing with for me, the caffeine gummies, like because you don't really think about it so much. They're tasty. Like 3 or 4, then I was like, wait a minute, and I started to feel.
Yeah, then you realize you had 10 shots of
like espresso exactly. And 4 gummy bears. Come on, but yeah.
And some of I guess the ingredients in certain supplements that have been causing a lot of these kids rushing to, you know, the hospital or calling poison control. One being Mawang.
Mawang, yeah.
Mawang.
So, which is essentially ephedra. And so ephedra has been banned in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, what was that?
It was like Xenadrine and
something like that.
Yeah, it was a bunch of different diet products that people were literally having heart palpitations. Hydroxycut.
That's what it was.
Yeah, a lot of those were using ephedra or Mawang, and Mawang is still available. People still buy it. I've seen it before, but that's a big one you want to avoid. Yohimbe is one that touts sexual performance, but again, it's full of stimulants, homeopathic medications, and energy drinks, which we know energy drinks can really be deleterious.
Yeah. Right now, about 34 people died died. Oh, this isn't a study. 34 people died in a study of 13 years that weren't even children who were taking supplements. So if those are adults, imagine children taking these supplements. And what is it? 170 million a year Americans take dietary supplements.
That kind of was astounding. I mean, in one sense, it was astounding. In another sense, it's not. But 170 million people is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think so many people are so eager to take stuff, pills or quick fixes, rather than getting fresh harvest.
Yeah, and we have to,
for instance.
and we have to remember that these supplements are not regulated like prescription drugs. Prescription drugs go through trials and studies before they're approved for the market. So with these, you do have more cause to look at side effects, and you really have to be your own best gatekeeper when it comes to supplements, which companies you're getting it from, who's manufacturing in the right way. So
even this week, I usually take Amino Energy, which is a pretty clean pre-workout, and it has aminos in it. But the lady at GNC gave me just regular aminos because I wanted to take aminos without the caffeine in it.
Gotcha.
And I was very skeptical of even that. And I'm sitting in the store like, no, I got to make sure that there's not some, because you don't know, and especially when you're going to these stores, they're not regulated.
And there's new manufacturers every day, and a lot of times at some stores like GNC, that people are paid an extra commission to put certain products.
Exactly. That's why I was like,
So what are you making off of this? Like, are you being serious, or is this a little extra cut for you?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's chat. Sorry, all my things are kind of out of order. What was the next topic?
We had some appetite suppressing foods.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there are foods out there that can add or aid in weight loss, and that can help suppress your appetite. First one I had this morning, Greek yogurt.
Yeah, well,
Shaka's not much of a fan.
Yeah, I'm vegan, so I'm like, but if you are not vegan, it can help.
Yeah. Do you eat like the almond yogurt and?
I was never a yogurt fan even when I wasn't vegan, so it's never been like a thing for me. Yeah.
I tried because I don't drink regular milk, but I do enjoy almond milk. So I was like, oh, let me try, almond yogurt. Disgusting. Hated it. Sorry. I was like, what? Well, this is not.
They must make a coconut milk or a cashew
milk. They did. I tried the coconut one too. I love coconut. It's just the texture.
Is there a cashew one?
I will have to look at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, but the texture, it's not. It's not.
Not a ringing endorsement. But I will say, in terms of ice creams, cashew milk ice cream better than almond milk ice cream, better than
okay, so cashew.
So maybe cashew milk yogurt is going to be better than all those as well.
Even with dressing, one of my girlfriends bought me a vegan Caesar dressing, and I was so excited. I was like, didn't like it.
Really?
Did not. I can bring it in for you if you want. She just raved about. But I will say, and this is kind of off subject, but not tofurkey.
Yeah, loved it.
The fake sandwich meat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I haven't even tried it. Really.
Oh my god! She gave me the sandwich. She was like, "I just want you to eat it," and I was like, "Well, but I'm not really eating meat." She's like, "Trust me, eat it." Yeah. Ate it. It was fake turkey, fake cheese. It was even the bread she put it on, but she went to and it was just amazing. It was like the peppered tofurkey.
So now you know. Now you know it's possible, right?
That's possible.
Yeah. So
the yogurt.
I will say, when you're vegan, you have to maybe search a little bit higher and lower for things that taste good as well.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll look for recipes.
It's all out there. It's all out there.
Maybe I can make I don't know. Maybe that's too much.
And there's certain stores. We're lucky to live in California. Sprouts, if you go to, they have a ton of vegan options. So you'll see a lot of stuff.
Okay. Next one, avocados.
Yeah. Avocados, great in terms of the fat content to keep you satiated. So
I throw avocados on everything, even though it's extra.
Yeah, even though I have the money today. Extra
I'll spend 50 cents to stay full longer. It's worth it.
Yeah, I was never much of an avocado fan until I would say
You're from Miami?
Yeah, just the texture of it. I'm a texture thing. And that smooth kind of creaminess of a fruit, just like.
Love it.
But I have the last 3 weeks been experimenting with my own guacamole, and it's been pretty tasty. So
I need to make you. You like garbanzo beans?
Yeah, love them.
I do a garbanzo bean type of Mediterranean with avocado type of.
Next week on here, we're going to do a taste test.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do
Let's
that for you. Red chilies. I knew this.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of hot food, but when I am trying to lose weight and curb my appetite, I throw red chili peppers on everything, jalapenos, pepperoncinis.
Anything from the chili family is going to aid in your weight loss. And fortunately for me, I have just like a tongue that loves hot food. So even before I knew about weight loss and diet and all that jazz, I would always add something hot to my food.
Yeah, and it wasn't until, it's funny because when I was younger, hated hot stuff. It's
really,
funny how your taste buds change as I feel like you age, but definitely a fan of spicy stuff.
Yeah, I had a West Indian background, so like everything had spice, curry and jerk.
Yeah, makes sense. Barley.
Yeah, barley's just, a solid grain. So that's going to keep you full longer. It's going to digest very slowly, very fibrous. So it's going to be good to keep you satiated throughout the day.
I do a lot of Ezekiel bread, and that has barley and oats in it.
Yeah.
So I do feel the difference between eating like regular wheat bread and that. I do.
Yeah, especially back in the day when I would have a white bread, that stuff just felt like it was gone. I didn't feel full off of it.
Yeah. And if you want to incorporate multiple of these foods, you could do avocado toast on Ezekiel bread with the red peppers.
Yeah.
And you will really be, feeling full longer. Next one, soup.
Was it soup or like I missed the soup one.
Oh, yeah, it's soup.
Oh, I totally missed the soup.
But to me, that makes sense because
combining these different things.
It's, you can get your vegetables in it. You can put different things in it. But I think oftentimes, like, liquid, it makes you, in soup form.
It'll hydrate you as well.
Hydrates you, but it also makes you feel full.
Yeah.
If I have a soup before my meal, I'm going to eat less.
Yeah. And I that's what I've been eating for lunch lately is like I've been doing a lot of soups with a lot of tofu, a lot of quinoa, just putting in hearty beans, my vegan meat. So just having like a sort of hearty dish. And I'm full all day from that. So.
Yeah, I think you just want to be careful on the sodium.
Yeah.
If you can make it yourself, that's awesome. Campbell's actually has a new soup that's
sodium free.
It had quinoa black bean soup.
Really?
Go to the market. It's Campbell's. Amazing.
Really?
Amazing.
Wow.
They're trying to capture, I guess, that more health conscious audience. So, they want to go the more natural route.
Because all the traditional bread, I don't even look for Campbell's anymore because it's just associated.
I was surprised it was Campbell's.
Yeah.
Because even the packaging looked different. So I was like, oh, what is this? And I was like, oh, this looks really healthy. And then it's like Campbell's. I was like, wait.
I do like some of the traditional food suppliers are now trying to move quickly into this health market.
Because they're going to miss, the lane. And that's where we're going. I wouldn't be surprised where, McDonald's, they're
coming up with a healthier menu.
But I wouldn't be surprised if, a lot of healthy food chains, for fast food even, will start coming out of the woods,
Yeah, but we even got Subway. Subway's kind of redoing their whole look and doing more fresh food, fresh vegetables as well. So I think that's where we're trending towards. So even eventually, like the Burger Kings and McDonald's of the world will be pretty healthy.
Yeah, you'll be able to get quinoa burgers or vegan burgers. Well, right now even they have veggie patties at Subway.
Yeah.
They have veggie patties at Chipotle.
Oh yeah, they got the sofritas and all that stuff. Yeah.
So
we're getting there. We're getting there, little by little.
And the last one, food to help suppress the appetite and aid in weight loss is spinach.
Yeah, full of vitamins, full of nutrients, full of water. Green leafy vegetables are very hydrating as well. So sometimes we look at this stuff as like light and not filling, but it actually does the job.
But I feel like spinach, the leaves are so small that you have to like get a bunch.
You get a bunch of spinach in there, but again, you're getting full off of just like really clean energy and clean food.
Yeah. I like mixing my spinach.
Yeah.
I'll put it with kale and other types of
Yeah, it's easier to have a big portion of it because it's not so heavy.
Yeah. All right, next up, how much of what you drink can help you stay hydrated for exercise?
Yeah, well, I was a little surprised by this article that most of us are almost hydrating too much.
Yeah, that surprised me too, because
But what do? You're telling me about the gallon you have.
So I bring a gallon of water to work every day, and literally once I get to the halfway mark, I'm like, my stomach is out to here. I'm like tapped out.
So
I'm running to the bathroom like every 5 minutes. The only way I could do a full gallon is if I like go hiking in the morning outside and it's extremely hot, then I'm like constantly, but if I'm not in an extreme temperature then I'm not drinking to that extreme.
Do you ever get any like muscle cramps, any headaches from time to time?
Well, when I don't drink, I'll get, and that's why I bring a lot of water when I go hiking.
Yeah.
When I don't drink while hiking in extreme heat, I usually will get heat?
Like a heat stroke type.
Heat stroke, yeah. I'll get severe migraines, but I've never got it from drinking too much water.
Okay, because that is a symptom you might have of hyponatremia, which is overhydrating. So from that, you can suffer headaches, vomiting, confusion, seizures, muscle cramps. So you do have to watch.
Do you know anybody who's had hyponatremia?
Not that I know of, again, because people probably don't think I'm having too much water. There was the one lady who died of hyponatremia on the air. I think she was trying to win a PlayStation for her kid.
Oh,
years ago.
yeah. We talked about that on one episode.
And she drank so much that water intoxication.
Yeah, that's...
So you have to watch out, and they, some of the guidelines, like watching the color of your urine.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Good, but you have to make sure you know what you've eaten that day, because vitamins can affect your urine, beets, as we know, can affect your urine, carrots can affect the color. So you have to make sure that you're not just looking at the color and forgetting the food you put into your body.
Exactly. I also like that they talked in this article too about sports beverages.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to drink a Gatorade, but you also have to be careful with those as well, because they're putting so much electrolytes. And if you look at the sodium content on a Gatorade, I would rather prefer if you feel like you're very dehydrated and you need electrolytes.
I like that,
electrolytes. A fresh coconut does the job.
But what people are doing is they're having these Gatorades, or they're even drinking. They're having the Gatorades, but without the physical activity. So Gatorade is very effective if you're like in the, you're playing a sport and you want to quickly get the electrolytes. But if you're just having to have it, then you might not be doing your body a service.
Justice,
And with coconut water, another thing you have to watch is that it is very low in sodium, and it's not going to be that effective for you if you are working out and exercising. So you want to make sure you're having the right beverage at the right time.
Exactly. Makes sense. All right. I like that too. Before we go on to the next topic, it says that alkaline water, distilled water, it's not that big of a difference in terms of how it will affect your performance than drinking regular water.
Oh yeah, not performance, but again, we're talking about inflammation in the body. We're talking about disease later on in life, and so we do. It seems that alkaline water helps those inflammatory problems.
Yeah. All right, last one. This was kind of eye-opening about 6 signs of thyroid issues.
Because you have a history here.
Yes. So my aunt had thyroid cancer, I think twice. They didn't take it out the first time, and then they took her thyroid out. And then my other aunt, she has thyroid issues too. And I've been noticing symptoms myself, but it wasn't until I read this article that I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I might want to get my thyroid checked. So just to kind of, let you know some of the common symptoms. But before even diving into that, about 1 in 8 women have Hashimoto's, which is a form of thyroid disease, and they don't even know it. About 59 million people alone in the U.S. suffer from thyroid disease. So different things, it can affect weight gain, depression, sexual dysfunction, extreme fatigue, and even heart disease, which I was surprised about that one.
So you've been suffering from all of these?
No. So I'll go through, those are the things that it can cause, but I'll go through some of the symptoms, and these, even ask yourself, are these, kind of check them off as I go down the list and see, are you experiencing these things? Have you ever thought about getting your thyroid check? If you're experiencing these things, it might be a good reason to go get checked. The first one is fatigue. And everybody gets fatigued.
Yeah.
But this is extreme fatigue. This is, I slept 8 hours or more.
And still can't get
And still cannot get out of this funk. So that's, that's kind of a sign like, okay. And there's hypo and hyper active and underactive thyroid issues. So, if you're hypo, I believe that is where you can't like put on weight. And Gigi Hadid went through this, where, I thought that would be every girl's dream, right? To not put on. Right? But, even her as a model, she didn't want to look frail and thin. And I get clients like this, too, who they come to me, they're like, I can't gain weight. And we'll put them on a good meal plan. We are they are lifting heavy weight and they still struggle. And at that point, it's like, okay, you need to see a doctor.
There might be more of an issue.
Yeah, exactly. And then the opposite is, an underactive thyroid where, you're constantly gaining weight, but you're working out, you're eating clean, and it's like, okay, it's just not making sense. Yeah. So fatigue, weight changes, drastic weight changes, that's another symptom. Muscle and joint pain. And I found this interesting. And there's a difference between soreness. Yeah. But, if you're waking up and you're like, why do my knees hurt, or I haven't walked anywhere, I've been in bed all day, like I haven't worked out in 3 days, why is my back hurting me? So if you're getting just unusual joint pain and muscle aches.
But it's got to be tough to figure it out because you're probably living with it for a while. So
exactly.
It might just be normal to you now.
Well, I would think, too, once all of these things start piling up, then it's like, okay, this is where you got to make the connection. A swollen neck.
Oh, wow.
And, again, I've seen this even in my own family. You gain weight and your neck might get a little bigger, but when you feel your glands are always big and it's even affecting your speech.
Okay.
That's what you got to look out for. This is probably, and even the article said it too, this is the number one most typical symptom of thyroid issues is hair loss.
Oh, wow.
Hair loss and skin changes. And I see it all the time, especially, us women, when we brush our hair. You know how much hair,
but
I get a little.
Your hair looks radiant.
Actually, I don't actually lose too much hair, so I wouldn't say this is a symptom of mine. But I've had clients who tons of hair, and it's like this is abnormal, or extreme skin changes. So if you are, you're an adult and you've fairly had, clear skin, and all of a sudden you're breaking out, and, your diet is good, your hygiene is good, and you're breaking out, and not just in your face, in different areas. Yeah. Your thyroid, it's like that butterfly kind of gland in your neck. It literally looks like a butterfly. It affects your hormones, and those hormones, they have to be balanced in order to have your body function normally. Yeah. So when they're not balanced, your hair is falling out, your skin's changing, and all these other symptoms. Number 6, bowel disturbances.
Oh,
so
that's not good.
Yeah. We had Dr. Shamik on here. We all know that, everybody, it's a little bit different, but there's that typical banana shape. Yeah. And you should be going, every day, possibly a couple times a day. Yeah. But if you're getting, extreme constipation, or the opposite, diarrhea, and you're not sick, but if you notice, okay, this is strange, I'm not going as much as I used to, or I'm going too much, it even affects the bowels. Oh, wow. Your menstrual cycle can be affected. So if you have menstrual abnormalities, this is a big eye-opener. And I feel like this should be a really big flag because, as a teenager, most women, you get your cycle, and, some girls will get it every 31 days, every 26 days. But for the most part, a woman knows their body.
But so many are on birth control and different, so you just don't know if it's that or...
So what I would say is if you're on birth control and you're having abnormalities, that's even I feel like a bigger red flag, because birth control regulates your cycle. Yeah. So, a lot of girls who have extreme, bleeding or other issues, the doctors will put them on or long, like consecutive multiple days. They'll put them on birth control to regulate it. Yeah. So if you're on birth control and having abnormalities, that's an issue. But even like spotting in between periods. Sorry, Shaka. You're like, I don't want to hear all this.
Hey, it's good knowledge for the viewers.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Spotting in between periods, long periods, abnormal short periods, extreme cramping. And you want to get checked anyway, because it could be endometriosis. It could be, sexually transmitted disease. It could be multiple things. But again, if this is lining up with all the other things we're checking off, then again,
thyroid issue.
Thyroid. And the last one is depression, because your thyroid affects your hormones.
Your mood, yeah.
Your mood. So if you're normally, a happy person, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're in this funk, and it's not like environmental. There's not like environmental stress or something's happened, around you. Why are you going through this depression? I don't know. And all these other symptoms again. So, those are some symptoms that you should check out for, if you're concerned about your thyroid. And just to let you know, thyroid disease does not just affect females. Yeah. Men have a thyroid. It's more, dominant in females where they get affected, but males, they have underactive and overactive as well.
And how many people suffer from this, you were saying?
What was it, 59 million people?
It's crazy.
Yeah, 59 million people in the U.S. alone suffer from thyroid issues. 1 in 8 women have it and don't even know it.
So it's somewhat common almost.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, that's a lot of people in the U.S. to suffer from it. That whenever there's a ton of people having any type of disease or epidemic, the first thing I think of is food.
Yeah, of course, because it's probably something we're all putting into our bodies.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like
I know they say it's like even genetically modified food might affect your thyroid, so you just have to be careful with what you're putting in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna dig deeper too into this. I'm gonna go and get my thyroid checked. This kind of opened my eyes.
And I guess we could probably even do a little segment maybe next time about how to fix your thyroid naturally.
Yeah.
Because I know there are some ways to naturally do it through your food. And
yeah,
your diet
so that's what I'll do. I'll research some foods for you guys and for myself, so we can tackle this together.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was a good episode. Did we miss anything? That was it, right?
And so, I think next week, actually, we're going to be doing our special on What the Health.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you. If you guys haven't seen online, everybody's posting. Angela, who was here, the hairstylist, she posted it. And I love documentaries. I was like, okay, let me go watch.
Amazing. Huh?
It's shocking everybody.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, don't give it away. I haven't watched it yet, so don't give it away. But I'll watch it this week, and then we'll do a special next week.
You're a vegan, so I know it's going to, for you personally, it's going to be confirmation.
Okay, good.
But I was like, for those of us who dabbled into veganism and, still exploring it, but still, kind of love their old ways. It'll push you in the right direction. To me, I feel like I'm just doing a comparison. It's like, like those people who, when they learn about God and religion and they find the truth, but they're still like kind of, out there in the world and, putting their feet in dirt, but they know in their heart that they shouldn't be doing it. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I'm
have the knowledge now. Now you got it.
Exactly. It's like when you know the truth, when you know better, you do better. Yeah. And I feel like my guilty conscience, especially after watching that, it's like, so if you guys watched What the Health, please tune in next time. And if you haven't, watch it before next week's episode.
Yeah.
That way we can all talk about it together.
Awesome.
And if there's any things that you want us to touch on, let us know, because what I like about this documentary too is that most importantly, it has people talking.
Yeah.
There are people out there that are saying that the information is swayed in just one direction. But that's what documentaries do. They have an agenda.
They do have a purpose.
And they want to showcase that. So we're going to explore all sides of that.
Cool.
So, and then
I'm
maybe, you know,
excited.
maybe we can even reach out to some of the people who are in the
See if
documentary.
we have a special guest. We'll see.
I'll tweet and Instagram some people, see what I can do for you guys. But yeah, watch it. Return next week so we can talk about it together. Awesome. And I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I'm excited now. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like watching like
documentaries?
Yeah,
I love documentaries.
Okay, good. So you're on board. All right, you guys. I had fun. If you have any questions too, or any other topics, things you want us to research or talk about, let us know. You can hit me up online at fitwithfallon.com or at fitwithfallon on all streams of social media.
And you guys can find me as always on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.